Hey guys, Adam Perry here with TrueDFS, and I am going to briefly go over today's 10-game NHL DFS slate. It'll be a process video, so no picks. What we will do instead is go through my process of how I build and get ready for the slate. And so in that regard, it's something if you're watching for the first time, you could watch now and a few other times. And if you're watching for the second or third time, you should already have an idea for what I do, and you don't need to watch that many times. That's the beauty of this. We're going to show what we could do with the tools we have, and they're tools you could get at TrueDFS.com. You can get access to Goldie's projections that I'm going to use. You can get access to Sheets' projections. You can get access to the pay dirt model for DFS and for prop betting that's done really well. And you can get access to SaberSim. And it's all like $20 more than the SaberSim starter package will cost on its own. So it's like getting 3 sites in one. It's just makes sense rather than buying it a la carte. So I highly recommend it. Check out TrueDFS.com, jump in on a trial, join us in the premium Discord, and like and subscribe. It helps us out. So let's get started. What I always like to do is just see who's bunching up in projections, and I do a little hand build. It just kind of helps get an idea of where the chalk's going to lie. It gives us a little bit of no puck knowledge as we look over lines, and sometimes we look at shift charts in these things, and you can kind of see, I mean, Edmonton really bunching up as the top plays. Now they're going to be expensive, but if you could fit them tonight against Nashville, they're really going to come out as a good play. So let's see like what you could do if you played these Edmonton guys: McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Bouchard, all the usual suspects. David, Draisaitl, Hyman. See if you can get an RNH too. No, you can't. So you can't play all these guys. You're going to have to take someone off. I imagine it's Draisaitl, and you just get the line 1 of Edmonton, right? That's still line 1 for Edmonton. Yeah. What a line it is too. So, you could leave off Draisaitl. Then you have the scratch to do it. Look for a good goalie. Swayman coming up as the top goalie. Price is right, huh? 7,300. Probably a favorite against Seattle. Let's see if Boston's favored. Not that it should matter that much, but checking out, yeah, 7,300 for a favored goalie is quite the price. Let's see. Now we need some good point per dollar plays. But this is how you play these Edmonton guys, huh? Regenda from San Jose. Makes him such a good play. Is he on the power play? One thing I should point out, there is a bit of news we should have went over too. Regenda. Is he a power play 1? No. They just like some on line 2 there. Getting a good projection from Goldie. One thing I should point out, it's worth going over, is there's a little bit of Columbus news you have to look out for. Right now, SaberSim and Goldie have Monahan projected out. But Monahan's going to be in tonight, and I think there's a shot he's on power play 1 too. So if he's on power play 1, right, Marchment's out. Do they have Marchment? No. Okay, so they're correctly have Marchment out, but they don't have Monahan in yet. So keep an eye out for that, especially if you're already a SaberSim user. But it looks like the industry hasn't really caught up, so hopefully they will before lock. If they haven't, you're going to have to really be on your toes. Now, DFO is projecting Monahan on power play 1. So, oops. It's going a little slow for me. Here we go. So they've got Monahan on power play 1 with the fully correlated Fantilli, Voronkov, and Marchenko is the EV1. So he, becomes a pretty solid play. So that's going to change the projections once we get there. I mean, 4K for a team against San Jose and a guy in the power play, it's going to look nice. In fact, we could throw him in here. If if we so choose. We're not going to get Werenski, but we could get Heinen, Sillinger. Can we get one of these other? We could do the Regenda. Not going to get any of the other. Well, you can get Voronikov. But then you only get. See, I think Edmonton, while they're coming up as good plays, I don't think they're going to be as high owned as the normal kind of big spots go with them, just because it's so hard to get them in, even with only a 4-man. So we'll see. I mean, maybe it's one-offs and things that they end up getting owned. But let's turn to SaberSim. This is who we're going to trust to solve this for us. Throw in Goldie's ownership just to compare. And we still are waiting on some changes, but that's fine. I'm going to build 4 threes and above. I've explained many times why I do that. And it's not because you can't get plus EV lineups that aren't, but you get so much trash in your small pool of 5,000. You just don't get enough candidate lineups. You have way more candidate lineups that are going to, can potentially be plus EV in your small pool of only 5,000 if you do it this way. What's up? What's up, Robert? You won an entry into the Fantasy Hockey World Champion. Oh, nice. 341 entry. You suck at hockey and only play NBA and NFL. Well, you can't suck that much. He'll give some input before I throw away money. No. Just know at DFS, it's ultimately just like you got the ultimate package and can just run the Sims. I would just run the Sims. Did they have, we could run for that. Did they have the qualifier in here? Yeah. We'll sim it out and see what, at least in the early going, what looks good. But you should do it right before post, right? You should wait for the projections to sharpen, the ownership to sharpen, just like you would for any sport. And it's as sharp as it can be, right at 6 Central here. And then consider late swapping. It should be a small enough field that you can gauge that without having live ownership. You can gauge it to some extent, and you can gauge what you need. But yeah, we'll sim it out now. It's an early look, so we don't have everything sharp yet. I just showed like the Monahan thing. It's an issue, but we'll see where it gets to early in the day. I'm not saying that's who to play, but that's who. Oh, I forgot to load up. I want to load up just one for the poke check too, because people always ask about the poke check. So I'm going to run. It's 150 max. I'm going to run for that first, Robert, but then I'll sim out the qualifier. It's good that you got that satellite. Hopefully you picked it up with some overlay. That's the best way to play, especially now with the tax issues. All right. Let's run a portfolio for the poke check. This is what we get the most questions about. And then we will sim out the qualifier. All right. Look at all the Rasmus Dahlin and really just Buffalo I'm getting. Dahlin, Zucker, Thompson, Doan. Then you get some Orlov, Celebrini, some San Jose in there, Norris back to Buffalo, some of the Philly stuff in a good spot against Anaheim. Anaheim's really fallen off, just to talk real life hockey. They were a good team. I mean, it seems like they should be, but they have been the shits lately. So let's see. Stack-wise, yeah, tons of Buffalo in the poke check, followed by San Jose and Philly. For onslaughts, San Jose, Buffalo, Buffalo, San Jose. Four-man's Buffalo, Philly, San Jose. It's just a metric ton of those teams in a portfolio of 150. And then, spread out after that. Let's see goalies. I'm going to guess Swayman is my top owned goalie. Yeah. 20%. But then you get Ilya. Sorokin going to be Goldie has him only projected at 7% ownership. I feel like he's going to be higher than that, especially if we're getting nearly 20% in our pool. Swayman seems a little bit more accurate. And Demko, good real-life goalie, tough spot. I guess they're all tough spots for Vancouver, especially after trading Quinn Hughes. Ottinger, Greaves, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I'm surprised we didn't get more of him correlated with Buffalo, but healthy 8%. Pretty spread out at goalie. No surprise Swayman is our highest. Sabersim tends to love Swayman. There's like a few guys Sabersim just has a bias on for whatever reason. Swayman is one of them. Let's go, Robert, and let's take off the poke check and sim the qualifier and see what we would get to in this afternoon. It's the early part of the day. It's not really that early, but afternoon run. And then, you got SaberSim Ultimate. I would go at 550 Central and run my lineup. I'd run all my lineups, but including the one for the qualifier. I can't stress how important it is to wait as long as you can to build lineups. The longer you can wait, the better. All right. Who did we get in the qualifier? Simming the qualifier. Let's see this lineup. Vegas. On the road in Winnipeg. Some Brett Burns, D'Angelo, Doan, Saros in goal, Saros in net. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be low owned. A lot of leverage, right? It's a winner take all, basically. It's basically a winner take all. So you get the leverage over those top Edmonton guys, especially if they're owned. I don't think they'd be owned that much, but maybe enough. And you certainly get the cheapness at goalie. Allows you to get in the Vegas power play. Doan on the power play for Buffalo. Brent Burns. Now, he's sneaky. He's going to get a lot of ice time because Devin Tays is out for Colorado. So Burns makes some sense. Total is right. Colorado's just a good team. Burns puts up a lot of peripherals. So it could be good. So there you have it, Robert. In this early going, I get a Vegas onslaught for the qualifier. Now, we'll see right before lock how that looks. But if it were right now, I would plug this in and play it. And speaking of plugs, before I go, I'm going to give one plug for our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps us out. Check out TrueDFS.com. There's trials available. Really, the packages are great. It's an extra $20 more than what SaberSim will cost alone. And you get Goldie's projections, Sheets' projections, the pay dirt model. And you get, no problem, Robert. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it goes well. Hopefully you're back tomorrow talking about a takedown and a trip to the Hockey World Championship. I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm sure it's a hell of a lot of fun. So good luck. And good luck to everyone watching. Check out TrueDFS.com, like and subscribe, all those.